In the world of gods and monsters, some names echo across history. The mighty Zeus, the vengeful Hera, the fearless Kratos. But there are others, hidden, forgotten, their sacrifices lost to time. This is the story of Callisto, a mother whose love defied Olympus itself, a woman whose whispers shaped the destiny of gods and men. Her name may have faded from myth, but her legacy lives on. Callisto appears in only one game: God of War, Ghost of Sparta, a mortal woman, Spartan, loving, but haunted by secrets even the gods feared to speak aloud. In Greek mythology, Callisto was no ordinary woman. She was a nymph, sworn to the goddess Artemis, protector of innocence and the hunt. Her beauty was said to rival the stars themselves. Yet, in the ever-twisting tales of Olympus, loyalty was no shield. During one of Zeus' many journeys to the mortal world, he set his eyes on Callisto. Some legends claim he disguised himself as Artemis, deceiving Callisto into letting down her guard. Others say he came to her in secret dreams. What we know is that Callisto was changed forever, betrayed by the gods she served, and carrying a divine child she never asked for. When Hera discovered the truth, her fury knew no bounds. Callisto was cursed, her body twisted into that of a beast, a bear, exiled from her sisters and from the life she once knew. The name Callisto isn't a coincidence in God of War. It is a deliberate echo, tying myth and tragedy to Kratos' bloodline, a link between mother and monster. In the shadow of Mount Olympus, Callisto raised her sons alone. Two boys, Kratos and Deimos, both strong, fierce, and full of life. But Callisto knew a secret that weighed heavier than any Spartan shield, a secret that could bring the wrath of the gods crashing down on them all. Deimos was the first to pay the price. In a brutal raid orchestrated by Ares and Athena, Deimos was torn away, kidnapped for reasons Callisto understood far too well. The gods feared a prophecy that a marked warrior would someday bring about their downfall. And in their arrogance, they thought they could control fate by striking first. Callisto didn't fight back. She didn't scream. She didn't challenge the gods, because she knew if she drew their gaze again, Kratos would be next. She hid the truth deep within her heart. She raised Kratos to be strong, to survive, but never revealed the blood that coursed through his veins, the blood of Olympus itself. Kratos would grow up believing he was just another Spartan, another mortal destined to conquer or die. But in reality, he was something far more dangerous to the gods, a living symbol of their sins, a threat they could not afford to let rise. Some whisper that Callisto had help hiding Kratos' true nature, that even mortal priests and oracles who served Sparta were silenced or bribed. Others believe she performed ancient rites, shielding him from divine sight for as long as she could. Yet nothing lasts forever under Olympus's gaze, and as Kratos' power grew, so too did the gods' suspicion. Still, through it all, Callisto kept the secret, not for herself, not for her own safety, but because she believed one day her son would have the strength to break the chains the gods had wrapped around the world. In the sunken city of Atlantis, in the temple of Poseidon, beneath raging waters and collapsing ruins, Kratos finally finds her, his mother. Callisto, older and weakened, but with eyes that still carried all the warmth of his forgotten childhood. For a moment, The mighty Ghost of Sparta is just a boy again, a boy yearning for answers, for family, for a truth that doesn't hurt. She welcomes him with trembling hands. Her voice cracks as she urges him to turn back, to stop his search, to leave the past buried where it lies. But Kratos, as always, refuses to yield. He demands the truth, and with that demand, the curse awakens. Before his eyes, Callisto's body twists and shatters. Bones snap, skin tears. She transforms into a monstrous beast, a nightmarish reflection of the myths that once cursed her. There is no choice. Kratos, the warrior, the son, must fight the only person who ever truly loved him. The battle is brutal, and every blow cuts deeper than any blade. Kratos' strength meets her monstrous rage, but behind the fury, he sees it, her sorrow, her pleading eyes begging for forgiveness, even as her hands strike at him. Finally, battered and broken, she falls. And with her dying breath, she gives him the truth he never knew. Zeus is your father. With that whisper, Callisto dies, not at the hands of the gods, but by the hand of her own son, manipulated by forces he could never understand. Kratos is left alone in the ruins of Atlantis, motherless, fatherless, and burdened with a rage that would one day shake Olympus to its very foundations. But what truly was Callisto? A cursed mortal? A forsaken demigoddess? Or something even greater, lost to time and myth? In Greek mythology, Callisto's story is one of cruelty and injustice. She was a loyal follower of Artemis, vowing chastity. Yet Zeus, as he so often did, could not resist interfering, taking the form of Artemis herself, or perhaps another trusted figure. He deceived Callisto and took advantage of her trust. When Hera, Zeus's wife, discovered the affair, her fury was boundless. But she did not punish Zeus. She punished Callisto. Some myths say Hera transformed her into a bear. Others say she cursed her to wander, hated by gods and mortals alike. The God of War series takes these ancient threads and weaves them into something more intimate, more tragic. Callisto's monstrous form in Ghost of Sparta is a direct echo of those ancient punishments. She was not a monster by nature. She was made into one by divine cruelty. Fan theories have blossomed around Callisto's hidden power. Some believe she was more than a mortal nymph, perhaps a forgotten daughter of a titan or a minor goddess herself, stripped of her status after Zeus's betrayal. Others speculate that Callisto was cursed with a failsafe. Should she ever reveal Kratos' divine parentage, her monstrous form would awaken, forcing her to silence herself or be destroyed. It's a chilling thought that the gods' influence stretched even into the deepest instincts of a mother's love, that even her final moments were stolen by the manipulations of Olympus. And then there's Zeus himself. This was not the first time the king of the gods meddled in mortal affairs. Alcmene, mother of Heracles, Semele, mother of Dionysus, Io, who was cursed to wander the earth as a cow. Each time mortals suffered for the whims of a god who never faced true consequence. But with Callisto, there is something different. Her son would not become a pawn of Olympus. He would become its greatest threat. Through Callisto's pain, Kratos inherits a legacy of rage, resilience, and rebellion. Her tragedy is not just personal, it becomes cosmic, a quiet spark that will one day ignite the downfall of gods. Callisto's story ends in Atlantis, but her legacy reaches far beyond her final breath. She does not appear in the Norse saga, No statues, no visions, no whispered names. And yet she is everywhere. In every choice Kratos makes, in every time he chooses love over vengeance. In the old days, Kratos was shaped by rage alone, the ashes of his wife and daughter, the betrayal of the gods. But there was something deeper planted inside him, a memory of a mother who once chose sacrifice over survival, who bore humiliation, fear, and pain for her child. That quiet lesson endures long after swords have shattered and thrones have crumbled. When Kratos raises Atreus, it is Callisto's invisible hand guiding him, teaching him restraint, teaching him that strength without compassion is nothing but destruction. We see it in the way Kratos steps back when Atreus questions him, in how he teaches rather than commands. In the moments where he holds back his fury and instead listens, Kratos becomes not just a warrior, but a father, a better father. And that transformation from ghost to guardian would not have been possible without Callisto's earliest lessons in love. She may have died cursed and forgotten by Olympus, but her true victory was in shaping a son who could break the endless cycle of blood and tragedy. Kratos' triumph is not just that he kills gods, it's that he becomes something greater than them. Not through power, but through compassion, through love, through the quiet, unbreakable strength that Callisto left in him. Callisto never led armies. She never claimed a throne. But she gave the world a god and taught him what it meant to be a man. She may be forgotten by the gods, but not by us.